हाय लर्नर्स, मैं हूं आपकी मैथमेटिक्स गुरु शिवानी मैम and as promised I'm back with the second part of the chapter logic. If you have followed the last lecture, you must be clear with the meaning of mathematical logic. उसके logical connectives क्या होते हैं? So altogether we have seen 5 different logical connectives and, or, if then, negation and if and only if. Now using all these logical connectives we can make various statement patterns and आज हम लोग डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं कि उन statement patterns से how to get the truth value. Now as far as the exam is concerned, this particular part can be asked in 2 markers also as a single statement truth value, or this can also go to 4 marks question in the form of truth table. Now truth table is something which will be there in every year's question paper, so something very important, so please listen to the things very carefully and follow it. Definitely we are going to see now that how to find out the truth value of a single statement. So now we know that when we are using any kind of connective, every statement is having its truth value. It can be either true or false. Only 2 truth values are possible. एंड जब हम उन्हें कनेक्टिव्स के साथ यूज करते हैं तो हमने देखा था कि उन कनेक्टिव्स के साथ फाइनल आंसर क्या आ सकता है. इफ इट इज एंड, तो जब दोनों ट्रू हैं तो फाइनल आंसर इज ट्रू. ओके, और इफ इट इज और, इवन इफ वन इज ट्रू, फाइनल आंसर इज ट्रू. So we are going to follow the same pattern which we have seen in the previous part and going ahead with the complete statement patterns truth value. Let's start. So for सबसे पहले we are going to start with the basic truth value of the statement when certain values are given to you. So here, if P and Q are true and R and S are false, that will be given to you. Find the truth value of each of the following. Now the statement, when you see, it is P double implication Q, negation of Q, and R double implication negation of S. फर्स्ट स्टेप पे आप उनकी ट्रूथ वैल्यूज जो गिवन है उनको पुट कर देंगे. सो लेट्स सी द फर्स्ट थिंग. P की वैल्यू उन्होंने दी है ट्रू, डबल implication negation of true, and false double implication negation of false. First step afterwards will come that negation of true को हमें convert करना है. Okay, step by step हम एक एक part को लेते हैं. Just like we used to have BODMAS in mathematics, यहाँ पे भी हम smaller part खत्म करके फिर brackets को खत्म करेंगे and then full question को लेंगे. So यहाँ पे आपको मिल रहा है T double implication false because negation of true is always false. सेकेंड पार्ट पे हमारे एंड फॉल्स डबल implication ट्रू because we know कि negation of false will become true. Now if you remember with the biconditional statement, if any one of them is false, answer becomes false. So here true to false is there, so definitely the answer becomes false. Here false to true is there and therefore the answer is false. And false and false will give you the final answer as false. So the truth value of whole this statement is coming as false. Fine. Now ye question can be there in this format also where you are actually solving and coming to the answer, or it can be very much there in your MCQs also where you just have to put the final answer as false. Let's take one more example in this particular part. So when we take one more example, let's see how to get the truth value for a bigger logical statement. Okay? And with the help of a truth table. अब यहाँ पे हम एक truth table बना लेंगे. So that truth table will come in this format. First P Q, R, S, their respective value, negation of Q, negation of S, and then the connectives to get the final answer. So let's construct the truth value or truth table for the next question. Okay. So let's prepare the truth table for this statement pattern, which shows that P to Q. 2 means we are talking about single condition. That is not the biconditional statements. It's just if-then statement. Bracket or P and then again to P. Okay. This is your question where we are dealing with two variables P and Q. Now ये एक fixed pattern होता है. जब भी आप दो वेरिएबल से डील करोगे तो आपके 4 आउटकम्स आएंगे. जस्ट लाइक आपके प्रोबेबिलिटी के चांसेस होते थे जब आप 2 कॉइन्स में डील करते थे तो 4 आउटकम्स आते थे. सिमिलरली ये भी उसी फॉर्मेट में है. यहाँ आउटकम्स आपके हैं ट्रू एंड फॉल्स, वहां पे होते थे हेड्स एंड टेल्स. तो पहला पार्ट जब हम यहाँ पे ट्रुथ टेबल पे ले रहे हैं और व्हेन वी आर कैलकुलेटिंग द फर्स्ट थिंग, हमारा फर्स्ट कॉलम आएगा फॉर P, सेकंड कॉलम आएगा फॉर Q, थर्ड हम ले रहे हैं अब यहाँ पे P to Q, फोर्थ कॉलम वी आर टेकिंग फॉर P to Q and or P, and last column will be as the final answer. Okay, every column will have fixed values now. Ab again, as I said, there is a fixed pattern for P, for Q. This is P to Q. Then we are having P to Q or P, and then the final statement, which is your logical final answer. So P की जो वैल्यूज हैं वो हम लिखेंगे ट्रू ट्रू फॉल्स फॉल्स. सेम पैटर्न फॉलो करना. ओके, दैट इज इंपॉर्टेंट. फॉर Q वैल्यू नाउ वी गेट TF TF. So this is TTFF TF TF. You get the all 4 combinations. अब P to Q, when both are true, answer is true, that we have seen in the previous part. When first statement is true, second statement is false, then the answer comes as false. Then if F is true, then if F is false and the second one is true, then you are getting the answer as true and then again true. Because अगर आपकी पहली condition satisfy नहीं हो रही है if then की, the answer will always be true. We are not changing it at all. इसके बाद we are going with or P. तो केवल first column and third column को आप देखो, nothing else. This answer or P. तो T or T is T. T or F is T. F or T is T, and F or T here again is T. So चारों options आपके मिल गए, T, T and this 2 to P. Now again we'll go with the first column and this fourth column with if-then relationship. So T to T over here we are getting, T to T will become T. T to T next, again truth. But if it is true to false, your answer becomes false, and this is the false. So this final statement will be your truth table answer for this logical sequence. Clear? Similarly, whatever question we'll be getting, हम उनको इसी format में लेते जाएंगे. Okay? Simple first 2 columns आपके fixed होंगे और बाद के columns में we are going to follow what is given to us, okay, to get the proper answer over there. अब एक एग्जाम्पल और लेते हैं, बट इस एग्जाम्पल में हम लोग जाएंगे 3 वेरिएबल के साथ. अभी तो हमारे 2 वेरिएबल्स थे, P, Q and R also now will come. And since 3 वेरिएबल्स आ रहे हैं तो हमारे पास ऑप्शन क्या आएगा? 8 ऑप्शंस. जस्ट लाइक 3 कॉइन्स के साथ आपको कितने ऑप्शंस मिलते थे? 8 ऑप्शंस. सो सिमिलरली यहां पे भी आपको 8 ऑप्शंस मिलेंगे. सो लेट्स टेक those 8 options. Fine. So एक क्वेश्चन अब हम लोग उठाते हैं 3 वैल्यूज के साथ, P, Q and R के साथ. Let's see a simple question. Negation of this. Truth table for finding this statement. So let's see the statement first. We have to get P2 means if then statement, negation of Q or R. Simple values हैं, बहुत complicated नहीं है, but क्योंकि 3 variables आ गए P, Q and R, हम क्या लेंगे यहाँ पे? 8 options to solve it. So first we are going with first column, which will be P. Second will go with the second column, which will be Q. Third will be R. Once we get these 3 columns, अब हम लोग क्वेश्चन को डील करेंगे. तो यहाँ पे सबसे पहला सब पार्ट आ रहा है negation of Q. तो एक कॉलम हमें अब चाहिए for negation of Q. Okay? Then negation of Q or R, so one column will be requiring for that, and the last column will be basically for the final logical sequence which is asked over there. तो आपको दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे 6 वर्टिकल कॉलम्स रेडी हो जाएंगे. अब हॉरिजॉन्टली हमें सबसे पहले में P डालना है, then we have to put Q, then we have to put R. ये 3 कॉलम्स आपके फिक्स्ड हैं, इसमें आपको सोचना भी नहीं है. You just have to start the question like this. फिर हम क्वेश्चन पे आ रहे हैं which is negation of Q, then negation of Q or R, and then your final statement P2 negation of Q or R. अब जैसे कि वहां पे मैंने आपको पैटर्न बताया था टी टी एफ एफ टी एफ टी एफ. कीप दैट इन माइंड, इससे याद हो जाएगा. सिमिलरली यहां पे भी हमारे पास फिक्स्ड पैटर्न है. फॉर पी जो 8 ऑप्शंस हैं आपके, दे विल बी लाइक टी 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 एफ 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 एफ. फॉर क्यू टी टी एफ एफ TTFF. For R, it will be TF, 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 TF. ऑटोमेटिकली ये 8 कॉम्बिनेशंस बन गए जिसमें आपको सोचना नहीं पड़ेगा कि ओके फाइन नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन क्या है, नेक्स्ट ऑप्शन क्या है, बिकॉज यू आर फॉलोइंग द पैटर्न. सो टी 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 एफ 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 टी टी एफ एफ टी टी एफ एफ टी एफ टी एफ टी एफ टी एफ. अब वी आर गोइंग टू फॉलो द क्वेश्चन. So the question first statement is negation of Q. जितनी भी आपका Q का कॉलम है उन सब को इन्वर्स कर दो. Exactly changed. Negation, truth becomes false, false, true, true, false, false, true, true. Perfect. Now this negation of Q or R. तो third and fourth column में or. So true or false? True, false and false, false, true, 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 false, true, true. Remember, when one is true, one is false, always your answer will be true. Even if you have just one true in the thing, answer will always be true. Now we are moving to P2 negation of Q or R. So P is your this statement, first one. तो फर्स्ट कॉलम एंड द फिफ्थ कॉलम इन दोनों को डील करके हम फाइनल आंसर लेंगे. So true and true. If the first statement is true, then the other statement is also true. Answer is true. True and false. So answer definitely false बन जाएगा क्योंकि आप follow नहीं कर रहे हो condition यहाँ पे. Third one, true and true. Again true. Fourth one, true and true. Again true. Fifth one, false and true. Now again with the conditional statement, अगर पहला आपका false हो रहा है तो we are not bothered कि second statement true है कि false है. आपका answer automatically true आएगा. Keep these pointers in mind. Whenever you are solving the examination, ये छोटे छोटे pointers mind में रहेंगे तो आप time save करोगे in writing your answers. तो as soon as मुझे ये 4 false दिख गए हैं, मैंने इन चारों को true 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 कर दिया है. एंड ये मेरा फाइनल स्टेटमेंट है. मार्क्स केवल इसके नहीं मिलेंगे. मार्क्स विल बी फॉर द कंप्लीट ट्रूथ टेबल विच यू आर गेटिंग ओवर हियर. सो राइट एवरी स्टेटमेंट प्रॉपरली, एवरी स्टेटमेंट क्लियरली, एंड देन यू विल बी एबल टू कम टू द फाइनल आंसर. सो आई होप ट्रूथ टेबल इज राइट नाउ क्लियर, बट डजंट मीन दैट आपको और क्वेश्चंस प्रैक्टिस नहीं करने हैं. ये आपकी एक गाइडलाइन है. Okay, the more you practice for the truth table, the more you will be able to understand. Now we are going to another topic, subtopic of this, quantifiers. Now these are very small parts of this whole big chapter. It's a very big chapter, जिसमें कि एक छोटा part quantifier आ जाएगा, then आपके connectives आ गए हैं, logical statements आ रहे हैं, आपको algebra of logic will also be there. Okay, so here quantifiers के लिए first let's understand exactly what are those quantifiers. So दो quantifiers हम यहाँ पे learn करेंगे. First will be your universal quantifier. Now in case of universal quantifier, if you see the symbol, हम symbol use कर रहे हैं as उल्टा A. A stands for all the values. So just opposite A से आपको strike कर जाना चाहिए. We are talking about the universal quantifier for all the values. And the second one is existential quantifier, which is there exist a value. 1 or 2 or 3 values can exist over there, but not all the values will be there. So इसको भी लिखने के लिए हम E को उल्टा लिख देते हैं. So it is easier for you to remember. Now there exists an universal quantifier for all the values can be added to any open statement to make it a logical statement. Now open sentences we have seen earlier were the statements or were the sentences जिसकी अपनी कोई meaning नहीं होती थी. Like if we say 2x plus 3 is equal to 11. Now ये एक mathematical equation है, but x की value पे depend करेगा कि हमें आंसर क्या आ रहा है. So तब तक हम इसे statement नहीं ले सकते, logical statement नहीं ले सकते जब तक हमारे पास x की range या value नहीं हो. So if we take for all the values of natural number, then automatically ये sentence आपका बन जाएगा logical statement. Similarly, if we say there exists a value 2x plus 3 is equal to 11, so we know we can solve this statement 2x plus 3 is equal to 11. So 2x is equal to 11 minus 3, x is equal to 8 by 2, which is 4. So there exists a value 4 in natural numbers which is making this statement a particular logical statement having a truth value. So if they have given the value of x as 4, truth value आपकी true होगी. Any other value, truth value आपकी false हो जाएगी. So these were the uses of quantifiers over there. Now some examples of quantifiers like x cube is less than 64. So when x cube is less than 64, there exist certain values in natural numbers. Now x cube से छोटे कौन से numbers हैं आपके perfect cube? 1 cube is 1, 2 cube is 8 and 3 cube is 27. So x की आपकी 3 values हो सकती हैं 1, 2 और 3 and therefore ये statement जो है आपका ये open sentence will become a proper statement over there. Logical statement. Clear? So I hope this particular part is clear. छोटा सा part है, कभी कभी questions रहते हैं Not majorly asked, but still it is there. Now we are moving to, after the truth table, to another part which is dealing with duality. Another small part usually comes for 1 or 2 marks only, duals. Now, duals are basically a statement which is a very unique statement जो हर एक logical statement के लिए बन सकता है. Now, certain conditions for duals are this, that or becomes and becomes or becomes and. ये पहली condition है. If the value is true, it will become false, okay? Or if the value is false, it will become true. So for writing any dual, we just have to switch these values. One of the easiest thing in the logical statement is this, writing a dual of the statement. कोई आपका वहाँ पे sense बन रहा है, नहीं बन रहा है, don't worry about that. Just switch the statements. One thing which does not get switched is negation symbol. Negation अगर आ रहा है तो your answer will be there in the same format as the negation symbol. So let's write one dual statement. So negation of P and Q, or negation of Q and negation of P. अब अगर मुझे इसका dual statement लिखना है तो dual will be given as negation of, negation as I just said, negation का dual नहीं होगा, it will be same, P or Q. So and को मैंने क्या convert कर दिया, or. This or will get converted to and then negation of Q, again and will be converted to R, negation of P. See, such a basic way to write the dual of a particular statement. Okay, usually comes for again 1 or 2 markers or in your MCQs. Now statement wise, if we have to write the dual of a particular statement, same rules apply होंगे आपके. And को आप और लिख दोगे and और को आप and में convert कर दोगे. So like all natural numbers are integers and rational numbers. So इसका जो dual आपका आ जाएगा, that is all natural numbers are integers or rational numbers. Yeah, some roses are red and all lilies are white. So and is the connective जो change होगा, तो some roses are red or all lilies are white. So I hope this part is clear, the dual statement which is there, and you can easily write the duals of the statement. Okay. Now we are dealing with the negation of a compound statement. Basic negation you have seen, बहुत simple होता था, क्योंकि किसी भी चीज का negation है, अगर आपके पास truth है, you just convert it to false, add a value not, add a value it is not there, okay, or it is not true, तो वो negation हो रहा था. But now the problem comes if we have to find out the negation of a statement, compound statement, which is already added with a connective. So पहला condition हम यहाँ पे ले रहे हैं for conjunction. Okay. So negation of a conjunction is the statement over there. Now negation of conjunction आपको पता है कि it is P and Q. यहाँ पे एक रूल अप्लाई होता है, ये हमने पहले सेट्स में पढ़ा हुआ है. इफ यू पीपल हैव डन सेट्स इन योर अर्लियर क्लासेस, यू मस्ट हैव लर्न्ड इट. द रूल इज बेसिकली डी मॉर्गन्स लॉ. सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस डी मॉर्गन्स लॉ, नाउ दिस विल बिकम नेगेशन ऑफ पी and sign will change to or, and then you will get negation of Q. So final statement for this is this, and they both are logically equivalent. Equivalent means the value will always be same. It's not a dual, it's not something like हम quantifiers को कुछ use करें, we are just writing the same negation in a different format. So negation of P or negation of Q is the negation of conjunction. Similar pattern we are going to use for negation of disjunction. Now disjunction हमें पता है क्या होता है, that is or. So P or Q, this will become equal to, again following the De Morgan's law, negation of P and negation of Q. Okay, negation will be given to both of them and this sign will change to and. So this is your second part which is dealing with the negation of disjunction. Now we'll move to negation of negation. So negation of negation, 2 minuses always becomes plus. Same format mein answer will become P. So when you are having a negation statement along with another negation, the final answer will be equal to P. जो थोड़ा सा यहाँ पे टफ है, that is the negation of condition and by condition. इसको थोड़ा सा याद करना पड़ता है because ये हम लोग कभी कभी भूल जाते हैं. So negation of a conditional statement, or you can say implication over there. Now conditional statement को जब हम लोग specify करते हैं in the simplified form, it becomes negation of P or Q. ये आपका बेसिक वे ऑफ राइटिंग है कंडीशनल स्टेटमेंट का. अब इसको अगर मुझे निगेशन के फॉर्म में लाना है तो ये पूरा स्टेटमेंट क्या होगा, निगेटेड. सो नाउ अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू अप्लाई द डी मॉर्गन्स लॉ. negation of P will be your statement and or will get converted to and negation of Q will come over here. So at the end, your final result will be P and negation of Q. So you can see negation of P to Q is actually coming as P and negation of Q. After this statement, let's move to the negation of biconditional statement. As I said, conditional को ही आपको थोड़ा सा याद करना पड़ता है, तो by conditional में दो conditions add हो रही हैं, you are going to have double trouble here. So be careful from the starting. So again, in simpler forms, P by conditional Q means both the conditions need to be true, P to Q and Q to P. Okay, just seen that how P to Q is written. That this can be written as P and negation of Q or Q and negation of P. Okay, so ये आपका statement आ जा रहा है for the negation of P to Q. You can go stepwise also, or if you can learn the full statement in one go, that is also acceptable. But need to understand with the things that final statement will come in this particular format with the negation thing. जब आप ट्रूथ टेबल में ये कर रहे हो तो आपको इतना याद करने की जरूरत नहीं है डायरेक्टली, क्योंकि हम स्टेप बाय स्टेप बढ़ते हैं. सो देयर यू डोंट हैव टू बी एक्चुअली वरीड अबाउट द थिंग्स कि हमें ये नेगेशन डायरेक्टली लिखना है या किस फॉर्मेट में लिखना है. तो हम पहले P to Q लाएंगे, देन वॉट एवर इज द आंसर उसको निगेट करेंगे. सो ऑटोमेटिकली आपके आंसर्स इक्वल हो ही जाते हैं. नाउ ट्रूथ टेबल वी हैव जस्ट सीन कि हाउ टू फॉर्म. अब अनदर यूजेज ऑफ ट्रूथ टेबल जो कि एग्जाम्स में आता है, दैट इज logically balancing two sides of the equation and showing that the left hand side is equal to right hand side, proving the statement that your answer which you are getting from this particular part, the left hand side part, is equal to the right hand side part. तो मैं अब भी आपको इसी चीज को स्टार्ट करके दिखा रही हूं कि how come we can say that this is equal to this thing. Okay, so the left hand side is negation of biconditional, and then we are going to show that this value is actually equal to P and negation of Q or Q and negation of P. So making a truth table for this, P and Q, two variables are there. So I think you must be remembering now कि हमें कितने options लेने हैं, 4 options. 3 variables में 8 options. सो 4 ऑप्शंस के लिए पहला टेबल में बना रही हूं. फर्स्ट इज गोइंग टू बी P, सेकेंड इज गोइंग टू बी Q. देन लेफ्ट हैंड साइड के लिए वी नीड P to Q, there's one column, then it's negation as the fourth column. So this is your left hand side part. Then we'll be moving to the right hand side part. So we have P and negation of Q. So we'll go with one column which is negation of Q, P and negation of Q, negation of P, P, Q and negation of P, and your final statement. So you can see that आपके all together 9 columns बन रहे हैं. Okay? And in 9 columns में to prove that it is logically equivalence, आपके respective columns जो यहाँ पे आ रहे हैं, like say this is P, this is Q, this is P to Q, and then negation of P to Q. अब ये जो कॉलम है आपका, this is column number 1, 2, 3, 4th. ये 4th एक मेजर कॉलम है क्योंकि ये लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को रिप्रेजेंट कर रहा है. अब हम लोग राइट हैंड साइड के लिए आ रहे हैं. सो वी नीड negation of Q, negation of P, P and negation of Q, Q and negation of P, and then the final statement which is your P and negation of Q or Q and negation of P. ये आपका है now 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th column. Now to prove that ये logically same है, आपका 4th column as well as 9th column should have the same value. So by giving this example, I'm going to explain it to you that okay, why this negation value is this. At the same time, I'm telling you how to equate the logically balanced statement. So let's prove this particular logical sentence or logical equivalence statement using the truth table. So we are going with as a rule over here. First one is your P, Q, P to Q, and then we are having negation of P to Q. ये हमारा पूरा left hand side है. इसके बाद we'll move to the right hand side. P and negation of Q and Q and negation of P, and then OR. To prove this logical equivalence, ये जो 4th column हमारा आ रहा है, which is negation of P to Q, which is the left hand side representation, and the 9th column जो हमारा right hand side का representation है, this should be same. If we are getting the same answer both the sides, we know that this particular statement is mathematically, logically same. So first P, Q, 2 variables हैं, हम use करेंगे T, T, F, F, T, F, T, F. Okay? Now P to Q, T to T is always true, true to false, 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 and then if both false then true. So biconditional का rule याद रखना है कि if both are having the same truth value then answer is true, otherwise false. Just इसका negation is one of the easiest part. False, true, true, false. We got the first 4 columns here. 5th column, negation of Q. So Q is already written in front of us. So false, true, false, true. Negation of P, false, false, true, true. Now P and negation of Q. So we are having this P and negation of Q. So true and false will be false. And rule, मैं बार बार ये rule इसलिए repeat कर रही हूँ so that it goes in the mind. So जब वो सामने आए ना, automatically as a reflex it should come to you that this should be the answer. So T and F will be F. T and T will be T. F and F, both F है F, and then F and T will also be F. ये आपके 4 columns मिल जाते हैं F, T, F, F. Similarly Q and negation of P. तो Q आपका column है T, F, T, F. Negation of P का column है F, F, T, T. So true and false, false, false and false, false, true and true, true and false and true, false. अब जो आपका लास्ट फाइनल स्टेटमेंट है, दिस इज यूजिंग कनेक्टिव और बिटवीन 7 and 8. तो false or false will be false. Then true or false, since one of the value is true, your answer is true. False or true, true, and this is false. Now match the 4th column with the 9th column. You can see the values are same. आपको एक statement लिखना पड़ेगा. Since the values in the 4th column is same as the values in the 9th column, this statement is logically correct. And this is how we can deal with the negation, truth table, okay, how to get or make the left hand side and right hand side equal by conditional statements, which is an integral part of the chapter logic. For the rest part, now we know we are left with the algebra of logic, which is again an important topic, and also certain statements like contrapositive, okay, inverse and converse. So for that, see you in the 3rd video, okay, and we'll complete the whole logic chapter for you. Bye for now.